It
It is. Everybody can get 15% off Lock and Lust with offer code YKF. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday. It's Sunday, the 8th of August, 2024. Everything we talk about is consensual. We're adults.
Wait,
We're
stop.
consensual adults. What?
It's Sunday sessions. You haven't even introduced us
It
yet.
is Sunday. I know. I was about to. I was leading up
Okay.
to. I was
But
leading up to
but
it. Patience.
I'm just saying
Patience.
hi.
Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sunday Sessions. YKF Sunday Sessions with the magnificent, the gorgeous. You know her. You love her. The real Nicco Noire.
Hello.
It's 9/8/2024, and it's Sunday Sessions. It's going to be a great week.
It
Everything
is.
we say is consensual. This is for adults. Yeah,
We're grown-ups, kind
we're
of.
grown-ups. This is consensual. So yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Sundays. Tonight's episode was about cannabis, right? So uh-oh. Now, what does the smoking fetish look like in the days of legal weed?
Well, it looks a lot more irie. Well, no, honestly, it's funny.
Yeah.
Smoking fetish, yeah, smoking fetish is it's not something I do all of the time, but it's one of those things that kind of comes in waves, and I always think it. This has got to be something that's popular on like Pornhub right now, because all of a sudden for like a month out of the year, and it's not any particular month, but it's just like comes in this wave where I'll get a bunch of smoking sessions, and some people, they don't care what you smoke, they just they like to watch. It's a very voyeuristic fetish. But now that weed has become legal in so much of the US, not here in Texas, of course, but it is pretty much, I think we're one of the few states left that just, insist on having our heads in our asses. But that
How
aside,
has how has the legalization of cannabis changed BDSM in your opinion?
oh gosh, I mean, so I get a lot more requests for like forced intox sessions and
Okay.
and stuff like that. And because I'm a smoker, that's a session that I can get into. It's the only kind of forced intox session that I can get into. But that aside, I think it's changed the face of BDSM quite a bit. I think it's allowed people because it's medicine. Let's not forget that. Marijuana is first and foremost medicine.
Medicine.
And
I have a
it
prescription.
100%.
I a doctor
100%.
and I had a liver transplant. I got checked
Mhm.
out. I am yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
legally all right to
Yeah.
do
Well, and
to have
here's the thing.
cannabis. And we're gonna talk about
Even
cannabis
though it is
for all
not
show.
even though it even though it is not federally legal, it is legal state to
Not
state,
yet.
and it is meant as a medication, and we're able to use it recreationally now. And I think that in the BDS world, it's kind of allowed a lot of people to kind of not lower their inhibitions, but ease their anxiety and fear about, maybe going to a fetish party for the first time, or maybe, finally picking up the phone and making the appointment with the mistress. Um, and in that way, I think that it's greatly helped a lot of people. Kind of just, I mean, it's a great medication for anxiety.
Do
You
you
know,
think it's replaced drinking?
I think it should replace drinking. I don't think you know me, Nick. You've known me for a long time. I've been sober for I haven't drank in 12 years now. But it's because I woke up in jail. It's because I got a DUI. It's because I had to get out of my car to check for blood because I couldn't remember how I got home.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do want to take a moment to say this to everybody out there. we are not promoting drug use. We're talking about it,
Absolutely
and
not. No,
this is a
I'm
discussion. And
if
the thing is with
anything, I'm
drinking, please, if you're out there and you're struggling with addiction, I had to get a liver transplant because of it. I
Mhm.
I didn't give up,
Hmm.
but you can give up drinking. It's possible. It's 100%. Please, like, do if you
You
think that you
can.
can't, you can. You
You
definitely
can.
can. Have to say this. Just please, just yeah, and find help. Go get help. Son, we're
Yeah. There's nothing wrong.
ex-alcoholics
You know,
are interesting
there
people.
yeah, you know what? Here exactly. Here's the thing. If you think you're the only person in the world who you know, has a problem with alcohol, if if you
You're
think that
not,
you might, then you probably do.
and it's everywhere.
And that's okay. And the thing
It's
is, it's okay.
everywhere.
There's help out there for you. But that
Yeah,
aside,
and
I'm
I think personally that the legalization of marijuana, there's people still so stuck in the drinking, the culture
well, it's the bar
that,
scene.
and
We
it's
need to
the
reg Go ahead. I'm
I want
sorry,
my
Nick.
parents. I want my parents to like. I think they'd chill out if they like had some edibles. I think
Yeah,
I think like imagine now that it's legal and like in Jersey it's
do
legal.
it.
We can get the dabs and
Just
everything.
dose your mom's like
Yeah,
cookies
I'll
and
never do
just give her a
that.
cookie and just see what happens. Do you think she would even know? Or do you think she'd just be like, wow, like I just
All
feel
right,
fucking
we were
amazing?
gonna have a shout out to Abby Hout. She's a smoker. She's
Abby.
YouTube. She was on the show last week. There were some problems. Your
My
power went
power went
out.
out.
Abby, we
Thank you,
love
Mother
you.
Nature.
We love you. I am.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a mix up, but yeah, we wanted to reboot it. If you have the link, please come up if you're there. So
Yeah.
we do have some questions about smoking because I wanted some
Yes.
questions for her. I did ask her.
Yeah.
How do you use smoke or smoking in your scenes or scenarios?
Um, I actually use smoking quite a bit. I mean, it's a great way to create tension, isn't it? To make somebody wait for you because they'll wait. They'll wait for you, won't they? They will. But it's a great way to create tension. It's a great way to create for a dominant. It's a fantastic tool because it's a great way to you can immediately make somebody an ashtray. You can immediately you know use somebody as a stool so you can sit there and you can smoke your cigarette or you can smoke your joint or you can smoke your stogie, whatever it is. And yeah, I can I can think of a lot of ways how I use smoke and smoking.
I think I'm going to use this as a quote, as a quote. Excuse me. You could immediately use someone as an ashtray. That's
Immediately.
a great quote. All right. Speaking of that, what is
Yes.
the best place to consensually burn someone with a cigarette? I had to put B because StreamYard wouldn't let me put burn.
I am a fan of using someone's mouth as an ashtray, and this is why. You don't have to worry about burning them. What you do is you make them sit there with their mouth open for an extended amount of time. And if you're standing over them, and generally I'd be standing over my sub. And if they're not salivating at that point, I'm not doing it right. But they usually are. So at that point, there's enough spit built up in their mouth that you can put the cigarette out into their saliva without burning them. And it's still disgusting. And you're still using their mouths as filthy fucking ashtrays because that's what they are. But you don't have to worry about actually harming them with fire because fire burns people. Let's talk about it. Or not.
That leads to the next question. Aftercare. Aftercare for your cigarette burns. You put your cigarette
Sure.
out on a sub.
I
You
have
know,
so
what do you do
that's
next?
also a thing.
You
That's
put do you
also
put
a thing.
lemon juice on it?
Well, right? Fuck you. No. so so
You
that's the
thought
thing.
about it.
I've had many
You've done
subs
it.
that they want cigarette burns on their chest. I've had someone want me to put cigarettes out in my name on his chest. I did not do that, but I did put cigarettes out on his chest. So aftercare for that, obviously, you immediately want to rinse out cigarette burns. Just because it is fire, you are not cauterizing anything. You're dealing with ash. You're dealing with carcinogens. You need to wash that area out immediately with water, and then you want to go ahead, not ice cold water either, and not hot water, just tepid room water. And then you're going to want to get something like a burn care solution that's specifically made for burns, to clean burns, and antiseptic for burns. You're going to want to squirt that on, let that completely dry, and then you're going to want to put little bits of ointment and let it heal. Don't pick, or it will divot you.
Don't pick.
Don't pick, or
Burn
it'll divot
people
you.
with cigarettes.
See,
I
see?
loved it.
Where's
I
my
would. You know what? I think I'm going to start doing
divots?
just the notes that I have from each interview. First of all, I could barely read them. My handwriting is horrible, and they're just like snippets, like so random. So if someone finds this, they think I'm a psychopath, a really kinky psychopath.
I have on my phone. I
Psychopath's
have
a
this
harsh
thing,
word.
and
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
oh no, psychopath is good. Listen,
Just sum
I
it up.
have. So I've listen. I have been keeping quotes in my phone for the last 10 years. Okay, just random quotes that people say, and I'm just going to read to you. Just give me a moment. I'm just at random, no context. I'm just going to
Oh
give
yeah, just
you
pepper him in during the
just
show.
yep.
Pepper
So
him
here we
in
go.
during the show. Okay.
Button, you don't have to have patience. When you're stupid, everyone else does.
That's true.
Okay. I'd fuck my sister if my dick weren't dystrophied.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Okay,
now I have
here. This is beautiful. If my throat is a seal, I want you to breach it with your great white.
Now I have to look up dystrophied.
Yeah, wait. Just here we go. Arizona is and was Arizona's worst enemy. Thank you.
Okay, smoking. What about cigarettes?
Smoking.
When did you first start smoking cigarettes?
I'm not promoting smoking nicotine at all.
We are
I
not
stopped
promoting smoking.
smoking.
We stopped smoking. I don't
I
smoke
stopped
cigarettes.
smoking when I was
Only did when I was
in my
17.
early 30s. And yeah, but I first started smoking when I was 14, and it was quickly and you know why? You want to know why I started smoking? There was this boy, shout out to Aaron Hill. There was this boy named Aaron Hill, and I thought he was the bee's knees. And he invited me to go with him and his brother's girlfriend to the Colorado River to go rafting. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm entirely too goth for that. So he decided to not go with his family to the Colorado River to go rafting, and stayed home and slept in his garage because his parents would not let him stay in the house by himself. Yeah, we were those kinds of kids. Anyhow, he brought over weed, and we sat on my roof and got high and smoked cigarettes all at the same time for the first time.
It's always a love interest, right? It's always
Yeah, I broke his heart.
So how'd you quit
guy.
cigarettes?
How did I quit cigarettes? That is a fantastic question. So I moved. So once upon a time in a former life, I was married for several years, and I got divorced. And when I got divorced, I kind of, life was very different. And so I decided that I would travel. And so I did. And I encountered for the very first time in my life snow in Buffalo, New York. I was, I think, I don't want to admit to how old I was, but I was definitely too old for it to be the first time I had seen snow. Or not snow, but I'm sorry, not snow. I mean like sub-zero temperatures. I had not ever witnessed anything like that before. And so I just remember um, I went to go smoke a cigarette and it was so cold, my nipples they just fell off. Just came off right there. I heard them on the ground. Bing, bing. Little glass diamonds just I was like, well, I'm not smoking anymore. And I literally quit smoking because it was so fucking cold in New York, in Buffalo, New York. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Never again. And I was
It was-
good. And I was good. And I
I
stopped smoking. And
remember.
that was, and I literally, I mean, I wish I had a better, because people are like, so you just went cold turkey? I'm like, no, I went cold. Buffalo, New York, fucking cold. And I don't, if you know, then you know. But I didn't know because I'm from fucking Texas. I didn't understand. I didn't even fucking get it. I mean, just barely went. I was amazing.
It
It
was
was
freezing.
shocking. I could feel the demon in me like, go, oh hell no. No, 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 no. We are from the South.
I used to go to
We
raves
are.
up in Buffalo, New York, in Poughkeepsie, and or no, upstate New
Uh-huh.
York, um, other parts too. It's freezing. It's freezing. The snow and the exit. It's just oh no. I mean
It
it's
was like
great. I love you. I
negative
love you there.
10.
I love you there. But I
It was negative 10 in my
I'd rather
lungs.
not be
I
around the snow
felt
in the
I
cold.
felt my soul come out of my body and I was like, "No, I don't need to smoke anymore."
So okay, cold
Good.
weather. Have you quit?
Yeah.
I know. I remember like working in the corporate world, right? And you
Mhm.
can't just go out to the parking lot to smoke. So you'd have to go down floors. And then I would have to be with my boss and sometimes like talk to my boss or talk to a woman that who had to go. We
Sure.
had to like walk far. We had to like
Yeah.
to the other end of the parking lot just so they could smoke. And so, sometimes deals had to be made there and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
But you know what?
Um,
Okay, so
yeah.
I say to you that I quit smoking, but okay, I'm also a hypocrite and a liar then. So I smoke one cigarette every single day. So did I quit? No. I guess no. I guess no, I didn't. But I smoke one every day. Why do I do this? I
Habit.
think it's because I just have like no, well, yeah, because it's a habit, but
Yeah.
I think it's because I just have like this horrible like avoidance. Like what is that when you like people tell you no and you're like, the fuck did you say to me? I do it to like
Yeah.
myself. Like I sit there and like fight with myself. I'm like, you can't have a cigarette. I'm like, I can do whatever I want. And
I
so,
was doing that with drinking.
because I'm sorry.
I was seriously, I was doing that with drinking too. The cigarettes
It's
extremely
tough. It's tough to quit.
wrongful. When Lynn was in the hospital, I write a little bit about
Mm,
it in the coolest way. But when
right.
Lynn was in the hospital, she loved smoking. She loved smoking all the
Yeah.
time, like cigarette as much as possible. She didn't
Hmm.
smoke when I lived with her. She had
Yeah.
her little bathroom, whatever. But
Mm,
she was convinced, right? She was convinced due to drug psychosis because of operation, right?
yeah.
Not street drugs, literally health operation issues.
Yeah.
Um, she thought that there was a special floor, right, for that Robert Wood Johnson in New Brunswick had just for the smokers, just for the smoker patients. So can you imagine for a
I
second she
cannot.
sold it hard. Sold that's the thing, but it's addiction. So sold
It
it hard,
is.
like seriously, there is this there you just gotta bring me cigarettes. Just bring me cigarettes. I was like, you can't so she just got out of surgery. I can't bring her cigarettes.
You know.
You you know what I mean?
I
There isn't
have.
a it's on like, the ninth floor.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not gonna know I mean, she can't leave the bed, let alone the
Yeah.
room, let alone the floor, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Addiction is tough like that. And
full.
see, and that's another thing about weed that at least I find, you know, it definitely has its addictive properties. It has a hand to
Mhm.
mouth addiction. It has kind of an obsessive quality to it. Like I sit there and worry,
What
do
about
I need to buy
smoking fetish
weed?
what do you feel
Hmm?
about smoking fetish people, though? There are everyone's got different kinks, and there are different traits, and keep in mind, we are not kink shaming at all.
No, not at
This is
all.
thing for us journalists and friends that we're just like, okay, are there certain traits to people who have a specific smoking fetish?
So interestingly enough, I'm gonna say yes. So I find that most smoking fetishists, they're very much voyeuristic. They're very much submissive in the fact that they want to be used. So and not necessarily abused, but they want to be used. So they want to be of service in the way that they are an ashtray, that they are a footstool, that they are a chair, that they are almost they're very they are people who enjoy being used kind of as inanimate objects, and just you know very kind of their person is secondary.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to I'm happy to dehumanize.
So let's talk about the smell, whether
That's
it's weed smoke or cigarette smoke or just incense, stuff like
I
that.
think it all
So
smells like
how do you
shit
enhance the smell?
personally. Like honestly, I'm not a fan of the way weed smells. I'm not. Like some people are like,
Okay.
weed, it's herbal, it's natural. I'm like, it smells like fucking skunk. It stinks. It smells like shit. Cigarettes, even worse. Um, and it's a major problem for me because
Mhm.
I toke out all day. So I believe that God made very expensive perfume and Nag Champa for those reasons. If
Nag
anyone would
Champa.
like to buy me very expensive perfume, please feel free to go to NiccoNoire.com. There you can find my wish lists, and there you can find very expensive perfumes.
So how do we hide the smell?
I just told you.
Nag Champa, is there other ways?
I,
What about like
I'm a Nag Champa believer. I mean, it's instantaneous. For me, if I can open a window and light a Nag Champa incense, it no longer smells like weed to me. Now,
one
whether or not
one
that
thing
is
I've
true
noticed
remains to be seen.
one thing I'm noticing cannabis replacing tobacco.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time I saw a person with a cigarette. Like
I, you know,
I really
I'm
can't,
right.
just
I'm
like
there with you.
out in the open.
Mhm.
And it's been
I
such
think
a
we need to
important
normalize
part of life.
weed bars. I think we need to
Yeah.
normalize, smoking lounges and weed lounges in particular, instead of, going out and getting a drink. How about we go out and we smoke a joint and we share a joint together? And
You know what?
and you go out and
I would have
spend the money on a really expensive joint that at the end of the day everyone can afford because it's a joint. And you and that one other person, you turn your fucking phones off and you get blunted and have an experience. God
shout out
forbid. And
to
then you can drive home and not fucking kill anybody.
check this out. Shout out to Miss Shari. We had
What's up,
dinner
Shari?
last night. All Mrs. Shari is amazing, and Narcissa, and Dave. Like all of them are fantastic people. And they were telling me the story of going to a wedding. These days, I
Mhm.
haven't been to a wedding. I have a liver transplant. I'm still recovering from that. Haven't been to it. There's a wedding coming up. I just got my first invite. Can't wait to go. I don't want to talk about it yet, but
I love a
gonna be
wedding. Much better than a
yes.
funeral.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. Something
Um,
to celebrate.
anyway
Love it.
anyway, so at this wedding, and they have a weed bar. They have weed bars at weddings. You can get sativa, you get indica, you get edibles, like, you could choose and pick and choose all the edibles you
I
want,
hope
or all the
every single person is listening. Weed bars at all of your major events. Why do we need alcohol? We don't. No one. Also, alcohol kind of tastes like shit. Let's be honest about it. I mean, it gets to a point where
poison.
you stop, it's a poison. Fucking
It's truly
poison.
poison. And it instigates so much negativity. It makes
When
you
was
wanna
the last
fight.
time you turned on the
Really.
news? Family of six killed by
Wh
completely blunted out weed head.
yeah.
No, no,
When's the last time,
no.
like, you get so stoned out you wanna, like, start committing genocide, right? Or
No, I mean,
you don't do
honestly,
that.
the most destructive thing that happens when I
Or to
get
start
really
going to murder
stoned is
street.
I
You
can't
don't do that.
remember where the fuck I put my purse. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna
Bill
sit here
Hicks
and
said it right.
probably it might I don't it do you have popcorn?
Bill Hicks
Okay.
said it right. He goes, people say, marijuana makes you lazy. It doesn't. It makes you realize that a lot of things aren't worth the effort.
Okay. Well, it also depends on who you are. If you're neurospicy like I am, and I am very neurospicy, I did not get diagnosed with ADHD until much later in life. And so when I was diagnosed, I had already figured out how to fail and then function. So I'd already figured it out. So I had lived most of my life either self-medicating with, you know, illegal drugs or, you know, on hallucinogenics, trying to do the military's, you know, PTSD that I found. This is when the internet first started. Anyhow, that's another story. And I'm probably on a list somewhere. I'm certain of it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying it. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. I, I was shopping around this idea last week,
Hi, Stan.
and I was wondering if you had any cannabis related BDSM scenarios or scenes.
So something that I like to do with clients that I definitely know are 420 friendly and are you know would not be offended by it. Um, I will get them in a situation where I have them in bondage, no arms, no legs. They'll have a hood on. It has no eyes. And I will take a big, huge toke and then I will force their mouth open. I will make them take it and give them a little kiss. And then make them hold it and then breath play them with it.
Give him a kiss. Adorable.
Little kiss. Yeah, you can't have the sweet without the sour.
All right. Do you know how my mind works, right?
I do.
What
Let
is
me
the
guess. It's going
ultimate?
to happen. What happens when you're wearing a French maid outfit in chastity, smoking marijuana,
No, that's
making
not the
dinner for a
question.
queen?
Uh, that's
Am I
my
close?
fantasy. I'm asking
I
about your
know.
fantasy. What would be the ultimate cannabis related BDSM fantasy for you? For you, Nico. For you. This is all about you.
You know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. So, the Norwegian has already fulfilled all of my excellent narcotic weed dreams. So when he first came to see me, when I moved to Texas because he lives in a different state, so he has to fly several states to see me, and he, being the Norwegian, mind you, he is the sweetest, kindest person I've ever known. But he is also sometimes not the smartest. And with a cage on his cock, he happily brought about a pound of weed in his like overnight bag on an airplane from yeah. And all I'm saying is it's not legal here in Texas. So when he got here, the chances of him, well, first of all, he reeked of weed. Not and he mind by the way, let me also mention he's not a smoker. He doesn't smoke. He's not aware, you know, he doesn't, he's just like, oh, you know, she likes weed. I'll just bring her some weed. He's not thinking of, you know, it's a felony in Texas. He's not thinking about that. Not at all. He's just happy to see me.
That is fantasy.
You know?
All right. What about strains? What about strains of cannabis? Some people, for example, Wookie pie and filthy animals. Yeah, filthy animals.
Um,
That's the recent strain that has been effective.
I
What's
am definitely a purist. So, you know, I'm a big fan of like purple haze. I'm also a big fan of gelato. And
yes,
gelato
gelato.
variations. Yeah, I'll get down on that. You know, as far as like
It's Melissa
I'm
thing. Yeah,
not an
gelato.
indica sativa preference person because back to me being neurospicy, um I actually run off of marijuana. It doesn't put me to bed, it makes me function. Or
Okay.
it helps my pain. I've also, you know, lived a life of hard knocks and I've been in a lot of car accidents and a lot of, you know, shady situations and I've broken lots of bones and so I have a lot of permanent pain and marijuana keeps me from being an opiate addict
So when
in
you
that
say
way.
neurospicy, can you tell
Yes.
us what that means to you?
Yes, I have hardcore like DEFCON 1 ADHD. And by that I mean like unhinged, the most savage shit you could ever imagine. And I lived like that for a long time. And I mean, I tried killing myself when I was 15. I really struggled and I had no idea why. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I knew that that something was. And I lived in a family that, I'm one of 7 kids. And, there's just not enough time in that shuffle to figure out what the fuck's wrong with everybody. And so I moved on and I learned how to live with it.
We have some guests in the chat.
Good.
The Norwegian says, the Norwegian visits us.
Oh.
And he writes, I spend many hours thinking of the perfect gift for Nicco. And I kept
It's very romantic.
To all the weed, all of it. I filled my suitcase with weed and it spilled out over the rental car. That's awesome. That's a all the
did.
weed.
When he showed up, he opened
all the weed.
He opened this bag and it was just like Christmas trees exploding out of his bag. And I looked at him and I'm like, oh my God, you're a fucking drug mule. For me, that's romantic.
That is. That made my heart flutter. It really did.
No.
And you know me,
it made my heart flutter too. I was like, no, that's a true.
That's love.
That's devotion right there.
Speaking
looking at a felony. I'm sorry, darling.
My love, sunshine. Can we talk
How
about
is she? I miss her. Tell her to text me.
All right. Can we talk about how amazing teasing and orgasms are when you're legally high? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, well, I'm never legally high because I live in a state that doesn't let me. So yeah, I mean, orgasms high are great. I love them. I don't think I'd be able to come if I weren't at some level, elevated or medicated because I have the coolest lube. I have THC, and it's just for vaginas. It's THC lube that gets your pussy high. Like I could put it just on my vagina and only my vagina would get high. Which, I try to imagine that for a moment. Right.
I was taking a moment to imagine.
I'm sorry. Maybe being too graphic. I'm getting excited about it. It was exciting.
Let's talk about it.
I'm like, I put it on my pussy.
Sunshine ass. Like, is there like someone who just came out of the. What is this lube?
Nicco 2025, everyone.
Just saw magic.
Jesus Christ.
What is this magic you speak of? This lube, this THC lube.
It's amazing stuff. And like this woman, she did not undersell it. She was like, look, has your pussy ever been high? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, have you ever got your pussy high? And I'm like, tell me more. And she's like, well, I'm going to give you this. And you're going to go ahead. And about 10, 15 minutes before you're going to do the thing, you just rub that on. And she's like, and you will get your pussy high. And I'm like, just take my money. Say less, take my money. I'm on it. I mean, listen, it's not hard to sell me on anything if it has to do with marijuana. And anyone who knows me, I'm pretty tried and true to the bone when it comes to weed. It is something that should be in everyone's backyard.
You'll find this funny. So I wrote to pop up on the screen, how to get your pussy high. And then I immediately thought, I have to do this like PSA saying, whatever you get, people, do not get your pussy cats, your physical cats high. Don't do that. That's not safe.
Cats, catnip.
I meant vagina.
Shout out to catnip. But catnip is the only kind of high that your kitty cats, meow cats, feline friends.
We've got some more questions. Yeah. All right. Sativa, hybrid, indica, edibles, RSO.
What you keep telling me about RSO, and you keep saying it's on a cracker, and I'm like, on
No,
a cracker, like a
I think I
cracker
have some here.
because
Do I have some here?
I have the best new
Yeah.
shirt.
I have. It's. I don't know if I.
Like, what is it? And you keep telling me like it
It's a
comes in a
needle.
syringe, and I'm like,
It comes in
oh
a
God, I
syringe.
thought
Yeah,
we
it
were
comes in
done
a
with
syringe.
those.
But it's not. It's as
At
someone
least
who's struggled myself, it doesn't trigger. It doesn't like
it
trigger anything.
doesn't.
No,
Well, I mean,
no.
I deal with syringes a lot, and I'm not triggered by them either. If anything, I'm very comfortable with them.
The routine is triggering because it's like it becomes a routine of getting
What
a
is
cookie.
it?
It's here. I'll show you.
I don't live in a legal state. So when
This
I
is legal
smoke
in New Jersey.
weed,
This is
I actually,
prescribed to me.
smoke weed.
Just so you know, this is prescribed to me. I am a
Like, I
liver
feel like I have
transplant
to.
survivor. This is prescribed by a doctor. Okay, I want to go on the record of saying this is prescribed to me. So this is a syringe. Okay, and what you
What do
do
you?
is
Okay, you put it on a cracker.
or you put it on a cracker. You can put it on a cookie
I would do dabs of that.
or something. That's
You
what you
don't
do.
do
It's
dabs
called
of that?
there's something called a dablicator, which is a cheaper way to dispense it. Right? It's a cheaper
But
way
it's
to
so
dispense it.
crackheady.
It
That's why
is
I can't.
crackheady.
It's super crackheady, right? Like this
It
feels a
is.
little crackheady.
That
But
does feel
that
a little
feels because
crackheady.
you have to get like a blowtorch and like all this stuff. I
No, you
had a
don't have to do
girlfriend who
anything.
was.
All you
I
need
had
is
a girlfriend
cookies.
once. She was super into dabbing, and she literally she would take. It was like a nail file, dude. She would take this big chunk of wax, and it looked like black. And I was just like, "Yo, dude, come on!" I was just waiting to smell that tinny shit, and it wasn't. It was weed. And so, anyhow, she puts it over a fucking like a blowtorch, and I'm like, "Yo,
Mm.
I'm going to have to say thank you, but no thank you. That looks
There's
just
machines,
way
yeah.
too it was way too
Yeah.
much for me. And the thing is it's just weed. Like I'm not worried about the weed. It was just the way she was going about it. I was like, can't we just smoke a joint? Like this seems like this seems like slavery with extra steps right here, and I don't like it. I'm against
I,
it.
the thing is with the RSO, it's or the dabs and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
much more potent. It
It
hits quicker.
okay.
It's potent. So it's like going to well, I feel as someone who studied pharmacy, it's like going
Sure.
to you know the most potent version of it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Because
so it's
edibles has all
like
these other inactive ingredients in it and stuff like that. Think of it as like as a chemistry.
when
Um,
I was
uh,
14, my first day of high school, I got sent to school with a weed brownie from my mom's husband. He raised me, and it was our thing. It was our little thing that
really,
we shared that we smoked together,
please tell the
and
story.
it was kind of how we bonded. Because I was definitely a troubled youth, and it was how we bonded, and here's the funny thing is he made it seem like it was just his and mine's thing, like it was our secret. We smoked together. Yo, I'm one of
Yeah.
7. I'm pretty sure it was his secret thing with all of us. But anyhow, my very first day of high school, I got sent to school with a pot brownie and a note, and he said, "Go get him." On the brownie, I ate the entire brownie on the bus on the way to school. I got, I'd never eaten, I'd never eaten weed at that point. I'd only smoked. I got, I didn't just get like a little high, dude. I got crazy high. I got super fucking go fuck yourself. You're not going to school. You're not doing fucking anything. I went to Catholic school, by the way. First day of high school, what did I do? I sat my happy ass down on the front bench of the school and just did this all day. No one bothered me. No one came up and talked to me. I just looked at a book like I knew what was going on. I did not go to a single class. I did not do anything. I sat on that bench from 8 a.m. until 2:30 in the afternoon. I did not move. I couldn't move. And that's probably the first time I fell in love with anything or anyone.
Weed brownies.
First day of high
What else
school.
do I have here? All right, should I take it? Oh, okay. Can you use femdom to help people quit smoking?
I can use femdom to help people do anything.
Can you use femdom to help people give me money?
Isn't that what we're doing?
Yes, you're right.
Isn't that what we're
Right.
doing?
So how can you use femdom to help people quit smoking?
How can I use to help Nicco? I can't use femdom on Nicco. Nicco doesn't listen to anybody. That bitch is crazy.
Yeah, but you have every right because you're Nicco. You don't have. You could say what you want and tell people to do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to
I
do
do. Well, see,
whatever
here's
you
the
want.
thing. So I'm a certified hypnotist. I would definitely come at them at that angle first. I definitely think there is strong power of suggestion there, and if you know what you're doing with it, it can be a very, very powerful tool, and especially for people like, okay, interesting. So I have a horrible car phobia. I was in a terrible accident when I was a teenager. Um, and I've just never been able to get over it. And it's very difficult for me to be a passenger in a car. I can't really look at what's going on. I have to focus on something else or else I freak out. So it has affected me my entire life. And so it's another reason I'm not a big fan of traveling anymore. Because as I've gotten, as I've stayed 29, it has progressively gotten worse. And I hate that. So, you know, I have done so many different things to try and combat it, and hypnosis is one of the very few things that has helped me personally. It has not in any way, shape, or form cured me. Let me start by saying that it has helped me. It has given me tools to relax, so I'm not such a basket case in a car. There you go. Now everyone knows too much about me. You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Nicco. Nicco, it's gonna be
Nick, I miss you. I love you. Call me.
Oh, I will. And
Good.
everybody, guess what? You can get 15% off lockedinlust.com with the offer code
You hear that,
YKF.
Norwegian?
Oh, yeah. And yeah, get one of these. Lock it up. Seriously.
He needs a bigger one than that.
Oh, really? They
Yeah,
make bigger ones.
really.
They make bigger ones.
Oh, good.
They make all
He needs it.
Yeah. The best
Yeah.
chastity device is the one that fits. Shout out to remember Chastity Queen. That's her saying. And you know my saying, everybody.
You just wanted one on.
First of all, how can people get in touch with you, give you money, and
If you want to get in touch with me and you want me to touch on you, by all means, please book a session and go to nicconoire.com. There you will find all of my official links to all of my social medias, and you will also find directions on how to get in touch with me, to get in touch with you.
The Norwegian says, I hear it. Nice. I'm glad. Everybody, please read a book. YourKinkyFriends.com.
Read 3.
Read 3. There's the coolest way to kill yourself and chip black nail polish. The Patreon. Go to patreon.com/YKF. Spotify. Definitely Spotify. We put weird stuff on Spotify that is not anywhere. And we're gonna do that
also coming up in October, subscribe. I'm going to be starting my own YouTube, and I don't know exactly what's going to be happening there, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be mostly me.
Yeah, as it should be. Awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be so good. Oh, Jacob Fry says, good day, Nicco. Okay. Well,
Jacob Fry.
Everybody, be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Have a great night. It's gonna be
a great week.